By the way, you know they're having a celebration of them on September the 5th. Trump celebrating the J6 people. I thought my boss, President Clinton, made an undeniable point of Democratic policy. Since the end of the Cold War, there have been 51 million jobs created in the United States. 50 million were created under Democratic presidents and 1 million under Republican presidents.
You know, that's
50 to 1.
You've got to be able to tie. If you're going to make claims like that.
First of all, I love you. I love Clinton. It's a thing to say.
Okay.
Because as we both know, am I right?
Yeah.
As we both know, jobs created, it has a lot to do with what the last guy did. Clinton got rid of Glass-Steagall. Did that have anything to do with the collapse in 2008 of the economy? I think it did. So maybe some of the jobs that were lost.
I'm sorry.
It's just a bullshit.
Bill Maher just torched yet another woke guest end. It was an absolute spectacle. The guest walked into the studio convinced he and Maher were on the same ideological team, only to realize moments later that he had strolled straight into a rhetorical firestorm. Maher had the flamethrower ready, and he didn't hesitate. What followed was pure entertainment, a calculated dismantling that left the entire woke narrative in ashes. Every smug talking point, every self-righteous buzzword, went up in smoke as Maher sliced through the nonsense with calm, surgical.
The other thing I think we've been pretty aligned on is that the Democrats do better when they're center-left and not far-left.
Certainly.
It's better policy and it wins elections.
Right.
How do you think they did their convention with convincing the country that they are now back to the center-left as opposed to the far-left?
Well, first of all, you and I agreed, but that was one tough extraction, getting Biden out of the race.
Yes, it was.
Anyway, we brought in the head of oral surgery at UCLA, Nancy Pelosi. You and I were like a couple of hygienists, like hacking away at it. But Dr. Nancy came in and did it.
Full precision. This wasn't a debate, it was a wake-up call. A reminder that reason still has a place on a stage that's too often dominated by hysteria. Buckle up. This exchange gets hotter than the studio lights. Maher opened with a rare dose of blunt honesty, reminding everyone that the left is at its strongest when it stays anchored in common sense, not when it wanders into the ideological wilderness of the far left. He spelled it out plainly. Staying center-left means
the country wanted something different. And the Democrats, they weren't looking for ethnic cleansing. They weren't looking for a war. They weren't looking for a new entitlement. The country wanted something different than Trump and Biden, and we gave it to them. And I'm not surprised the country's responding favorably. I really not.
Yeah, I thought that, for one thing, they sounded like America, which, has been a problem with the left in recent years. They didn't sound like they liked America too much. And this convention, I heard a lot of it. You're lucky to be an American. You're privileged. Right. It's the greatest country in the world. It's like, thank you. Did you hear that, Congressman? Did you feel like that was sincere?
Staying connected to reality. He acknowledged that issues like abortion rights, LGBTQ equality, and gender discussions are absolutely legitimate and worth debating. But the trouble starts when those conversations get hijacked by radicals, who push extremes, whether it's pronoun policing or allowing biological males to compete in women's sports. That's the point, he argued. Where activism stops being logical and progress collapses into chaos, it's the moment liberalism.
I never criticize Democrats for putting on a good show. I will never criticize Democrats for being good at politics. What I criticize Democrats for is being bad at policy and governing. They put on a great show. They got those celebrities in there. They dusted off those American flags that they had previously held in the attic or burned occasionally. And then they brought them out for that freedom wave.
Very few Democrats burned
the Democrat activists burned down cities. We, as members of Congress, just a few weeks ago, we had to go put American flags back up over Union Station, Washington, D.C.
Stops being compassionate and starts becoming delusional. Maher drew that line with clarity and, to his credit, he did it with conviction. Maher didn't stop at ideology. He shifted to the political missteps that, in his view, revealed the left's broader decline. Starting with Kamala Harris, he reminded viewers that even with the full force of mainstream media support, celebrity backing, and a flood of donor cash, she struggled to connect with voters. She had every structural advantage.
Show. They're full of hope and joy, and I get it. Like, that's great. Starry-eyed views of optimism of the future. But on policy, not so great. And in the end, this is going to be about policy. They were very light on that. Why? Because they don't want to contend with the fact that they own the last 4 years of policy. We do have a very unique opportunity here where we have two candidates where you can look at 4 years and 4 years. You know exactly what they're going to do, and you know exactly what the outcomes are. And on every metric, Donald Trump wins on this. And so that's what we're going to keep pushing this election toward, is what are the metrics that will actually make your life better? Donald Trump wins on this, on the policy and the outcomes associated.
Yet never managed to build real trust with the public. The establishment tried to frame her run as a competitive, history-making campaign, but Maher wasn't buying it. To him, the momentum simply wasn't there. No spark, no surge, no genuine groundswell. The narrative of inevitability, he argued, was nothing more than wishful thinking wrapped in polished political messaging, and he dismantled that illusion with cold, measured precision.
By the way, you know they're having a celebration of him on September the 5th. Trump celebrating the J6 people. I thought my boss, President Clinton, made an undeniable point of Democratic policy. Since the end of the Cold War, there have been 51 million jobs created in the United States. 50 million were created under Democratic presidents and 1 million under Republican presidents.
You know, that's
50 to 1.
You've got to be able to tie. If you're going to make claims,
first of all, I love you. I love Clinton. That's a thing to say.
Okay.
Because as we both know, am I right?
Yeah.
As we both know, jobs created, it has a lot to do with what the last guy did. Clinton got rid of Glass-Steagall. Did that have anything to do with the collapse in 2008 of the economy? I think it did. So maybe some of the jobs that were lost.
I'm sorry.
It's just a bullshit.
He called out the selective patriotism that surfaces whenever the left decides which flag to spotlight during Pride Month or any other cultural moment. Crenshaw reminded everyone that genuine love for America doesn't disappear when it becomes politically inconvenient. Swapping out the stars and stripes for whatever social cause flag is trending isn't progress, it's pandering. He highlighted the hypocrisy of those who preach unity during election season, only to mock or dismiss the American flag months later when it's fashionable.
I tie a policy to an outcome. I can tie policies from Donald Trump to outcomes. So you cut taxes, you cut regulations. What does that do? It makes it easier to do business and hire people. So you're going to have job growth. You had 8% wage increase after inflation under Donald Trump before the pandemic. Actually 16% if you're talking about the lowest quintile of earners. Under Biden, it's been 0. So on every metric, he wins, and I can go down the list.
I guess that crime is down 30%. The stock market is up. The metrics that y'all choose are just BS metrics.
No,